The Naturals lost last night 4-3. The Springfield Cardinals on the road, dropping their road record to 7-22 on the season. And this is the beginning first inaugural episode of the Naturals Inside Report.
You know, there's an old saying that great fences make good neighbors. And if you're looking for an affordable and quality property fencing option, choose Heritage Fence Company in Germantown, Tennessee. Now, they specialize in all kinds of custom fence builds, no matter what you're needing, whether it's a privacy fence, ornamental, a 3-rail farm, although they'll even do an electrical braid farm fence, and pool safety fences as well. So you can call Corey or John, and they'll work with you to build a fence that suits your needs and your wants. 901-326-2081. Corey, John, and their team, they're prepared to work with you to deliver high-quality fencing options for your home or business. Heritage Fence Company, 901-326-2081. Call Corey or John today. Heritage Fence Company, 901-326-2081.
Everybody, welcome. This is the inaugural episode of the Naturals Insider Report. I'm your host, Jason Pattyson. My co-host was Wes Pruett here, and you're on 4-Star Sports Media. And we are very excited to have everybody on and following the Naturals here with us for the rest of the season. Wes, man, how you doing?
Jason, I'm doing well, man. We're about to talk about an organization that's honestly not doing real well, but it's a team that is, as we're going to get into here shortly, a team that has a lot of movement going on.
Yeah, they do, and I think that's with any minor league baseball club that you're going to have a lot of movement. I mean, honestly, you have your low A, high A, and then your double A, and then your triple A, and that's the format that each one of these organizations have, and it's almost like a bus terminal almost, because you've got kids in rookie ball that come up and then they start to progress, and you see them, you finally get to know them a little bit, and before you know it, they're out the door. They're taking a trip up to AAA, up to Omaha, or they're going back down to either Quad Cities, or they're going down to Columbia, or sometimes they're making that jump to the show over with the Royals in Kansas City. And so you just kind of have to ride that wave a little bit. But so kind of give you a little bit of an idea kind of where the Naturals are in the organization and where they go and where they could go. And I feel that it's important, with it being our first episode, to kind of explain some of the format that you'll hear us talk about. For instance, with Paxton Wallace, that's Caden Wallace's brother. He was yesterday he was with the Columbia Fireflies down in Columbia in the Columbia League there in South Carolina, and all of a sudden, before you know it, now he's at AAA with the Omaha Storm Chasers. We'll go into that a little bit, but that's some of the movement that you'll see here in the minor leagues, in that you'll have certain guys that they want to see progress at a certain pace. But then again, whenever injuries happen, they'll bounce around a little bit too. So that's kind of where that comes from as far as the setup goes. But Wes, man, I thought that the Naturals were going to pull it out last night, scoring 2 runs, one in the 7th and one in the 8th, but they just weren't able to get it done last night.
Man, Jason, Noah Cameron had his third start as a Natural since, as we just talked about, making that jump, coming up from Quad City, from the River Bandits there at the high A level, coming up to double A Northwest Arkansas. Took one on the chin last night. gave up a 3-run jack in the first, gave up another run in the second, and then another in the fifth, and then they ended up losing 5-3. Gave up 9 hits total as a team. The Naturals did. But I mean, speaking of Cameron, got his third start of the season, Jason, and
I think we lost Wes
he
there for
did
just a
something,
second.
Jason.
There you are.
No, I got you. You're still here, man. He did something last night that he had never done in his professional career, and that was give up 3 home runs in one game. Gave up 3 homers, gave up one in the first, gave up one in the second, and then gave up another one in the fifth. Luckily, Jason, the first one is the only one that had anybody on base. But Noah Cameron took one on the L last night, 0-3. Bonifacio had a really good night, run back to back. But yeah, Jason, it was a tough loss for the Naturals last night. Uh, uh, Very tough loss for the Naturals. This team's struggling on the road. They're struggling to score runs. We talked about it
You're
last week here in Northwest Arkansas postgame. Jason, atrocious. Oh, am I cutting out?
yeah, Wes, you're kind of cutting out. I'm not sure what it is, but want to get that figured out real quick, and I'll kind of go over some of this. With you know, started to see, the team maybe kind of taking a little bit of turn. It was a real bad weekend a couple weeks ago in Tulsa, and then you came home for a 6-game stretch, and you really were wanting to see them kind of turn that corner against the Hooks from Corpus Christi, and you just felt like they kind of were. I wouldn't say really kind of put really down on themselves, but honestly, from an organizational standpoint, from the major leagues down, it kind of feels that way a little bit. And I know that Omaha's doing pretty good. I know that Quad City's doing pretty darn good too as well. But sometimes you're in an organization whenever that club at the major league level, they're not really finding that spark. They're not getting that click. That sometimes it kind of trickles down because you've got guys that get shifted and shuffled, and sometimes that does happen. But with Tommy Shields in his first season here with the Naturals, he's taking his lumps. I've talked to him, you've talked to him, and he feels like this team it's around the corner. They've got some pretty good pieces in place, with Jonathan Bolin, the starting pitching, coming off that Tommy John surgery from a year and a half ago. And you've got some guys like Luca Tresh and Bonifacio with the pop, and CJ McCullough and Tolbert kind of shifting between shortstop and center. There are some pieces that you would say, hey, these guys are there. They just haven't quite gotten over that hump yet. But the thing is that the L's are piling up, but they're not blowouts. I mean, 6-2, 6-5, 6-4. They won last night 6-2, and then last night or night before last they won 6-2, and last night they lost 5-3. And with the team that they have, just waiting for them to get over that hump, they need something good to happen. They need some luck of some sort to give them some drive to say, you know what, we can go out there, and if we got some adversity, we can go back out there in the next half inning and try to pound these guys into the sand. Your mute, your mic is muted there, Wes.
The crazy thing is, Jason, and even with the Naturals this season, is they just have problems scoring runs. We talked about it with Coach Shields last Thursday, following a loss, where they just had problems scoring runs. The starting pitching, as you just talked about with Jonathan Bolin, who got his first win Friday night as a natural, or this season as a natural. They're just having problems scoring runs. Just to talk a little bit about stats, Jason. Right now, the Naturals are have a batting average as a team. These are team stats. 233 batting average. They've scored 249 runs on the season, 431 hits on the year, 48 home runs, 229 walks, 527 Ks, 49 stolen bases. And I mean, that's another thing that this team's got to learn, got to start doing better. Is everybody and their mama is scoring bases on this team. Now, I mean, you look at what their catcher they've got now. I mean, you talked about Luca Tresh. You've also got Brisheno, who has played really well. We'll talk about him in a little bit when we talk about some active streaks going on with this team. But Jason, last night, just to get back to the original question, and I apologize for my technical difficulties, but last night, Jason,
it's all good. It's first show, man. These are first show jitters. We're getting this stuff out, man. We're getting this stuff out. We're gonna get it right.
But last night, man, tough loss. Another we continue to talk about it in our articles all season, but another tough loss by this Naturals team. 5-3. On the series right now, you're looking at a team batting average of 221, 1-4 on the series. Only hit 4 home runs. You scored 19 runs in the first 5 games. That's an average, Jason, of 3.8 runs a game. It's not going to cut it when it comes to baseball. What is something, Jason, that you think this team needs to do? Just as we're talking a little bit about this current series with Springfield Cardinals, but what is something that you think this team needs to do in order to get the bats going?
They need to finish. Plain and simple. Leaving runners on base has been one of their biggest bugaboos this entire season. Anytime you see a Jorge Bonifacio come up, you got guys on second and third, you see people in the stands that kind of put their head in their hand going, crap, it's this guy again. And it stinks because whenever he's got nobody on, he's hit 2 home runs in the last 2 games. Or is it 3 for the last 3? It's one of those 2, I know for a fact.
He's hit one in the last 2 for sure.
Well, you get bodies on bags, you can't put him across, and that's not just on him. That's the whole team from top to bottom, and that's one of the things that Tommy Shields also talked about was making contact to get the ball in play, to get the runner across.
Yeah.
End of story. Listen, I'm gonna throw some nuggets at you here real fast. So, we talked about the Naturals being, in just a few minutes ago, being on the cusp of really getting over that hump, but they need some things to fall in their favor. They need some luck. They need something to help them. You got John Rave, which is batting 270, leader on the team. That's 25th best in the Texas League. You got Bonifacio with 11 home runs. That's 5th in the league. Now there's a 3-way tie for triples. Tyler Tolbert's got 4. And then so another thing too is that I found kind of interesting is that John Rave, Tyler Tolbert, and Peyton Wilson all have 53 hits on the season, which is 13th in the Texas League.
Yeah.
53 hits apiece. You've got, it's not like there's attrition there and these guys are going through huge spurts where they're having a problem getting the bat on the ball and putting it in play. Tyler Tolbert just come off of a 13-game hitting streak. And he followed that up in April with an 8-game hitting streak as well. So you got a guy that can get hot. You've got John Rave, it's 5th in the league in walks with 33. So you look at between Rave with his batting average, his hits and his walks, he's getting on base. That's where the whole argument of being able to finish comes into play. Mm-hmm. Now, I know during that 13-game losing streak that they had here recently in May, the bullpen really took it on the chin. They really took it on the chin, but they started finding themselves a little bit during that Hook series. They Thursday, I'm gonna tell you, I told Tommy Shields this. We talked about this as well. You and I did. When that guy they missed that check swing, and then they put the 2 runs across to make it the final score of 5-3 on that Thursday night. I'm going to tell you what, dude. I could not see, I saw the visible pain on the players, the coaches,
Yes.
on what do we have to do to catch a freaking break? I mean, what do you have to do?
Jason, man, honestly, since that moment happened, and we were standing just to the left of the dugout, of the home dugout where the Naturals were there. I'll be honest with you, there was some explicits from I feel like everyone, but it was a complete blown call by the official. You can't find me, but it was a complete blown call by the official. But when you look at, you're exactly right, Jason. This team is hurting for just something. Just something. I honestly believe if this team could get on a 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 game winning streak, I think it could turn into another 13 game streak, but possibly in the winning way of things. But when you talk about Tolbert, when Tolbert gets on base, Jason, and I don't know where he ranks as far as Texas League. I know he leads the team right now with 16 stolen bases as well. So when he gets on the bags, he can move station to station very well. Jason, you just talked about it. This team can put the bat on the ball. Why can they not cross home plate? I just the other night, Jason, they had bases. You were there just like I was. They had bases loaded opportunity with no one out and could not squander a run. I mean, you can see that. I mean, it's visibly frustrating for the team. It's visibly, obviously frustrating for Shields. And just not to get off topic, but can we talk about Shields real quick? I think Shields has done an incredible job maneuvering the waters of this season. Shields understands this is minor league baseball. The team you start with is not going to be the team you finish with. There's going to be a lot of movement. It's a very fluid situation. And I think Shields has done an incredible job of maneuvering this baseball team through the season so far. Yes, they are 21-35. Yes, they are 16 and a half games back of Tulsa at the moment. And they are, as you talked about, they're 3-7 in the last 10 games. But they're not, and we're not being homers, people. That's the thing. We're not being homers. This is really, honestly, from just a sheer watching baseball and understanding the game perspective, this team is very close, Jason.
Yeah. You look at the management for just a second. And if the management didn't care, I wouldn't say care, but if they were not invested and believed in those players, they see them on a day in and day out basis. If they didn't feel like in their gut, these guys are true professionals that can win games, they wouldn't care. They would be like, okay, pack it up, guys. We're going to the next. We're not going to worry about this game anymore. This thing's over with. Keep moving on. You got managers in there that are, I wouldn't say busting clipboards, but they're slamming their fists down. They're kicking water jugs. They freaking care. Yeah. They understand this team is a good team. This team is not just some trash that is like the Vanderbilt of the Texas League. They're not. It's just that they happen to be losing more than everybody else at this point. But whenever that midseason point hits, everything goes back to zero. So you may have a Texas League champion in the first half of the season, but you may have a Naturals team that has a kid that doesn't play very much come up from maybe Quad City, sat 15, 20 games on the bench, finally gets in because another guy moves up or another guy gets hurt, and before you know it, he's got 3 RBIs in 2 games. And then those things really are infectious, because then you got other guys in the lineup going, well, damn, this guy over here did it. He's going to take my job. Or, dang, if I don't start doing it, they're going to start bringing some more guys up or dropping some guys down that might need some extra ABs that maybe not be getting it up in Omaha. And if I'm not producing, they're going to find somebody who is. So then they start to say, oh, well, maybe I should finally, let's see if I can try to find that swing again. Maybe I get a couple of pitches that you actually were ready for, that, maybe on the scouting report, there's something that you saw that might be, advantageous towards you in an at bat, and you're able to finally capitalize. And then you start to get a little bit more confidence. And then the dude behind you gets a little bit more confidence. Well, and the dude before you is like, hey, you know what? I need to get on base because he's going to drive me home, which has not happened. But if those things start to happen, you're going to see guys step their game up even more so. These guys are reeling. These guys are trying. But whenever you have the lightning in the bottle theory of a win and you start to capture it, that stuff gets contagious. And when it gets contagious, guys start performing at a higher level than they thought they could. And that's whenever you start to see real improvement top to bottom in the order 1 through 9.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Jason, real quick, let's talk a little bit about the bullpen that we just referred to just a minute ago. In last night's game, they held the Cardinals scoreless over 3.2 innings, allowed 3 hits and 2 walks with 2 strikeouts between De Rosario, Will Klein, and De Geese last night. They threw 4 pitchers. Obviously, as we talked about, they started Noah Cameron. We talked a little bit about it. The bullpen was getting beat up. Lately, especially last night, they're pitching pretty well. Let's talk a little bit about the pitchers on this team. What is it about this pitching staff that you like moving forward in this season?
They're able to put strikes across the plate first and foremost. I'm going to just say it, Wes, and I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but those guys in the first 3 innings have got to stop giving up so many damn runs.
Yeah,
because they're they're really putting their team at a disadvantage and playing catch up. This team there's not a lot of teams that are built to play catch up in sports, period. It doesn't matter what sport it is. They need to start giving their team a chance in the first 3 innings. You can't give up crooked numbers on the first or second or third, or hell, all of them in any one of those innings, because you have 6 more innings to sit there and try to stop the bleeding and try to play catch up. But at the same time, if you're not putting runners across the base, you're basically putting the nail in the coffin. So yeah, this throwing for strikes, yes. But I think that what they need to do is they need to get more live ground balls. Yeah. They need to keep the ball down more in the zone. They need to keep taking it off the fat part of the plate or up in the zone. And if they keep it low, they're going to have a lot more opportunities to be able to get ground ball outs. Whenever you're trying to work a guy inside to outside, that's one of those things that you have to keep that ball down, so that way that whenever that batter takes that step out just a little bit to drop the shoulder to take it the opposite way, if that ball's up, that ball goes up as well. Now, if that bat stays down, you're putting that ball over to shortstop or third base, and then you're inducing double plays, but you have to keep the ball down.
Jason, a couple of stats that we dug up that I find very, very interesting is that no one this season has a complete game for this entire staff. But secondly, Steven Cruz has 4 saves and 6 opportunities, and he's 2 back of the lead. But also, when you look at Cruz, the guy has a way of just shutting people down. I mean, he really does. But I mean, when you look at his pitching staff, TJ Sycamore, a young prospect who I think is going to be really good. I like Sycamore a lot. He's been put in very difficult situations to thrive in, one of which was when Bowling got hurt earlier in the season in the third inning. He does lead the team in hit batters. When I think of a pitcher that hits a lot of batters, that tells me that pitcher is gonna rise you a little bit inside. So those pitchers generally make a lot of mistakes. Um, I mean, if you look at it, I mean that's really the only thing he's leading as far as this bullpen is concerned. But when you look, you just talked about the starters. When you look at the starters, whether that's Bolin, whether that's Way, whether that's Marsh, whoever it may be,
Cameron.
do you see this bull? Yeah, yeah. Do you see this bullpen maybe being I mean, I'm sorry, not the bullpen. Do you see this starting rotation maybe being shifted a little bit by Shields and Cologne, the third base coach, assistant manager? Do you see Shields maybe shifting some things up to try to maybe create a little bit more of a different game plan?
I don't know about game plan. I think that it's more reps than anything else, and making and working with these guys to keep the ball down. Again, I know I'm going back to the whole adage of keeping the ball down in the zone. But I mean, you look at the bullpen for a second, and Steven Cruz has got 4 saves out of 6 opportunities, which is second or third in the league, and was 2 off of the lead as well, which is 6 saves in the Texas League. Nobody has a complete game this year in the Texas League. Not only the Naturals, but everybody does not have a complete game this year. So
That's so crazy.
I know that was one of the things that really popped out to me when I saw that, and I was looking up some stats earlier today. I thought there is not one guy in the Texas League that has got a complete game, and I get it. There's some guys are on pitch counts not because they want to. It's because the organization has said, okay, these are some of the things that have been set out. Because if they think that they're going to be, progressing, I mean, there's no sense in blowing their arm up in double or triple A. You want to make sure that guy is getting up to the majors. But yeah, I would say honestly, what they need to do is if they can keep the ball down and if they can paint the corners more, I think that they could be more. I don't know how. I don't with the original question with the approach. I wouldn't say maybe mixing some more breaking balls in there on a 2 or 1-2 count, and they may be doing that, and they may want to say, hey, you know what, we're going to just try to punch this guy out instead. Let's go for the outside corner or whatever analytics show on his batting square of where he's cold and go after it.
Yeah.
They have to. That's what they do on a day in and day out basis. So.
Very true. Or they can also throw the special secret sauce, and that is Mr. John Rave. They can throw him out there, and if you throw John Rave on the mound, not only does the fan base absolutely come unglued. Arvis Ballpark was lit up that night that they put through John Rave out there, and then he ended his 11-pitch outing with straight freaking cheddar gas at 50 miles an hour. That is one of my favorite moments of the season so far for the Naturals.
So let's look forward here real quick. They wrap up tonight. They have actually a late start tonight in Springfield at 7:05 first pitch here in a couple hours. But you got a team in the Frisco Rough Riders coming to town next Tuesday, and they sport a couple of familiar names. If you are familiar with either college or Major League Baseball, if you pay attention to it quite a bit, Danny Duffy, former Royal pitcher, he's on their staff, and also Jack Leiter, which is Al Leiter's kid that played at Vanderbilt with Kumar Rocker. Both of them are on that staff, and then Arkansas, there's an Arkansas connection on there too as well. Wes, correct me if I'm wrong. I cannot remember the kid's name. I think I wasn't sure if I put it on our notes or not. Who it was?
Don't get me wrong.
Came from UCA. I'd have to look if you want. If you mind looking that up really quick. I think his last name is Starr.
I mean, I know that Noah Cameron came from USA on the Naturals.
But they got a kid from UCA. From Conway. I'm sorry, come from Conway. That's where it was. He wouldn't come from UCA. He's actually from Conway, and he came into the league as a non-drafted free agent. He's actually on the Rough Riders as well. But so, real quick rundown while he's looking that up. Royals in the minors so far. Storm Chasers are 28-32 and 6.5 back of Louisville in the International League West Division. That's the AAA affiliate of the Royals. Saw Paxton Wallace get called up. You saw Grayson Janista get called up. Have to see them. I think that Paxton's going to be more of a cup of coffee because AJ Armstrong got hurt. So needed a couple of fill-ins there. I think he might get sent back down after a couple of weeks. We'll just have to see. And if he does well, he may stay. Naturals, the AA affiliate here in Springdale, they're 21-35 on the season. And they are 16.5 back of first place league leader Tulsa in the Western Texas League and the overall division lead. I know that it says this is the worst record and the worst road record in the Texas League. But again, whenever midseason rolls around, the slate was wiped clean. We'll just have to see where they go from there. And we'll also be following them pretty closely with Frisco coming up next week. But Quad City Bandits, the high A affiliate, is 28-28, and you'll see a familiar name to you Razorback fans. Caden Wallace plays third base for them. We'll have to see. There's a good possibility he may be coming up here by July. We'll just have to see. And they are 3 games back of Cedar Rapids in the Midwest League Western Division. And now the low A Columbia Fireflies. Oh, go ahead, Wes. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I've got that guy. His name is Nick Starr. He's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, born in 96. Was a 2018 round 19 overall 559 pick of the Cincinnati Reds. And he played college ball at Southern Arkansas. But currently right now he is his overall 2023, he's 3-2 on the season, 6.04 ERA, 18 games, 9 games start. He's got 1 save, 28 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, and a 1.38 with hitters. What is that stat? WHIP. I don't know why my brain is completely gone numb as to what that is. Yeah, his whip is he has a career whip of 1.32, but a 2023 whip of 1.38. And we ain't talking cool whip either.
We're not just talking the Stewie cool. So
no, we ain't talking cool whip.
Columbia Fireflies 31-25, and they are 2 games back of Myrtle Beach in the Carolina League South Division. So let's look ahead here next week. We've got the Frisco Rough Riders coming to town. We're going to go over a couple of promotional things here real quick. Wes, I'll take the first 3 days. You take the second 3 days. That sound all right to you, my man?
I got you, man.
All right, cool. So Tuesday, everybody go out. You got the Dollar Johnsonville Brats on Tuesday night at the ballpark. And also enjoy buy one, get one half off on special t-shirt special at the Naturals Team Store. That's Tuesday night. Now Wednesday, fans can go out and enjoy a midweek matinee baseball game at Arvest. Quick announcement: the Frisco Rough Rider first pitch Wednesday at Arvest Ballpark is at 12:05. 12:05. So there will not be an evening start for Wednesday night. It'll be 12:05. So also summer camp day, where local summer camps will receive a discount group rate to attend the afternoon matinee. All group tickets must be ordered in advance. So if you got, like for instance, the Boys and Girls Club, or if you've got like the Rogers Athletics Activity Center and they have their summer program, and they got, they want take their kids to the ballpark that day for an afternoon matinee, make sure to order those tickets in advance. Now, Thursday, this one's for the adults. It's Thirsty Thursday. Heck yeah, man. Now,
Tasty.
fans,
It's
you can
tasty.
enjoy.
Sorry, thirsty. I always call it Tasty Thursday.
Tasty Thursday. Now, fans, you can enjoy $2 domestic drafts at two specific locations on the concourse. Also, there are $2 bag of peanuts, $1 small Coca-Cola fountain drinks every Thursday night at Arvest Ballpark. Make sure to get there early because those specials will go on through the first hour of the game, before the game, and then through the end of the game. So be sure to get there and take advantage of some of these great offers. Now, Wes, you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my man. What do we got coming up?
Man, Friday night, Jason, from 5:45 until 6:45 at the Bullpen concession stand. So that is the Bullpen. It's out in the right field fence. You can go out there and get you happy hour drink specials for fans of age, obviously, while all fans can enjoy a $2 barbecue slider or a special 6 barbecue sliders for $8. And Jason, don't forget, every Friday night is fire. If you're at Arvest Ballpark every Friday night is what I like to call a firework extravaganza. Because it is an extravaganza. It is by far the best fireworks show in Northwest Arkansas that I have seen so far. Let me preface that statement. Everybody jumping on me. But yeah, Friday night's a fun night at Arvest Ballpark, and Friday night, Saturday night kind of run in conjunction.
Hold on. I got some music for that.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Saturday night is going to be a fun night. It's bullpen party. Get out to the bullpen happy hour drink specials. Same deal. $2 barbecue sliders, 6 for $8 from 4:30 until 5:30. So Friday night's 5:45, 6:45. Saturday is 4:30 to 5:30. Bullpen concession stand, right field.
Man,
also, go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, a Naturals party is fun because a Naturals party just don't stop.
It really doesn't, man. And then Saturday night,
there.
Jason, the Naturals will be wearing special Marvel-inspired jerseys as they take on the Frisco Rough Riders. They will be also hosting a kids baseball clinic at Arvest Ballpark the afternoon prior to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Sunday, obviously, is Father's Day. So going to be a lot of fun at the ballpark. Also, it's going to do something that I think is very cool, Jason. On Sunday, you and your kiddo, your dad, whatever, y'all can go play catch after the game in the outfield at Arvest Ballpark by KNWA and Fox 24.
Make sure to bring your gloves too as well because they won't be providing them. So if you got them, bring them.
Most definitely bring them, Jason. Jason, speaking, just before we kind of wrap things up here, there's been some guys that we talked about at the beginning of the show, Jason. A little bit of movement, a little bit of transaction that have been taking place. So you want to talk a little bit about some of the movements that's happened for the Naturals?
Yeah, most definitely. I really do, and I'm glad you brought that up, Wes. I appreciate that. Who's on the move, and this is our segment called the Natural Ladder, and that's them climbing. Maybe from A to AA, and then moving on to AAA. So, as Wes mentioned before, Jose Bernicio was removed off the 7-day injured list, retroactive to June 9th. And so get him back into play. That's going to be really important for him to be able to get back there. And I mean, you could be seeing a little bit of an uptick. Sometimes a guy taking a few days off because of an injury can help not the body, but the mind. Getting the mind right always helps getting the body right. And then whenever you go back out there and you have both of them moving in sync, that's the reason why I think, there's a good possibility maybe some of the starting pitching can make a little bit of a turn. It always helps whenever you have your day in and day out catcher out there calling the 1s and 2s and 3s to be able to help guide you through the innings. So again, like we said, with Grayson Janista, first baseman, he was assigned to the Omaha Storm Chasers. That was effective today. We broke that on the old Twitter account, and always follow us.
The old
on
Twitter machine.
The old Twitter machine. Make sure to follow us for sure on the social media platforms. We'll go over that in just a second. While he was with the Naturals, it was only 9 games, but he was 7 for 31, which is a good 226 average. Had a home run, 5 walks, and 2 RBIs. And then again, Paxton Lynch was assigned to the Omaha Storm Chasers from the Quad City River Bandits. He'll be replacing. He'll be up there because CJ Alexander was placed on the 7-day injured list. So we'll see where he goes with that. But that has been your natural ladder moment.
Jason,
for
speaking
today.
of sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. 2 things real quick on those guys. On Briseño, he has now tagged 3 guys, and I may have mentioned earlier in the show, but he's now tagged 3 guys in a row trying to steal on him in 3 consecutive games. So what I talked about earlier about guys trying to steal on this team, it sounds like Shields and the staff are making some changes and putting some guys in place to make some stops. And also, speaking of Grayson Janista, we talked about his power and all that. We actually saw his first hit as a natural live at Arvis Ballpark. It was a beautiful triple last week. So, yeah, this Naturals team's a lot of fun to watch, Jason. This season's been a lot of fun, and we're just now getting started, man. I mean, there's still a lot of baseball left. But, Jason, for a first episode, this episode's been incredible. We are very excited to bring more coverage to this Naturals team, and not just the Naturals, but the Quad City River Bandits, Columbia Fireflies, and also the Omaha Storm Chasers, and the Royals for that matter. Because at the end of the day, Jason, what are these guys after? They're after one thing, and that is the show.
Going to the show. That's right, man. So make sure, everybody, to follow us on all social media accounts. We are on Twitter at 4-Star Sports Media. You can also follow us on Facebook at 4-Star Sports Media. And you can also catch this show. You can catch Inside the Hog Pen. You can catch The Point just off Markham in the man cave. And I do believe there is the 4-Star Sports Show and also the College Pick'em Show too as well, which are seasonal. And you can catch all of those and more at 4starsportsmedia.live, and that's where you'll be able to also read all of the sports articles that myself and Wes write. And if you guys like it, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to share on social media, and just keep tuning in. Like you said, this is our first show. We're going to be this will be a weekly show that will air on every Sunday evening after each series, whenever the Naturals wrap up their 6 games of that week. So you'll be able to catch us every week on Sunday evenings and just watch for the drop. You can also, you can even go on Twitter and set it up to where you can have a notification once this drops. You'll be notified so that way that you can jump on and listen to as well. So from myself, Jason Pattyson, and Wes Pruett, I want to thank you all for jumping on and just watching, going along with us in this crazy, crazy ride called Major League Baseball. And I just want to thank everybody for that. And also with minor league baseball as well. Sean Mernon is the announcer. Incredible dude. Always listen to that guy as well. So, Wes, you have a final thought?
Man, Jason, just incredible first show. The Naturals are getting ready to get started up here at about 7 o'clock. There also will be times where this show may take place live from the stadium, where Jason and I may be at different points in the stadium talking Naturals on a Sunday afternoon. Generally speaking, when the Naturals play at home, their last game is at 2 p.m. But We can also do a show live from the stadium during post game as well. But this is going to be a lot of fun. First installment of many to go for the Naturals Insider Report here on 4-Star Sports Media. And as Jason said, head to 4star.live. Check out all of our website, all of our shows as well. Also, right there, right down there at the bottom of the screen over there, it says at 4-Star Sports M. That's every rep right there. That's where you can find everything 4-Star Sports Media related on the Twitter machine, on the book, on the gram, all that. We're on TikTok. We're getting ready to get all that started up too. So 4-Star Sports Media in 2023 is going to be a lot of fun. But Jason Pattyson, of course, man, thank you, sir. You were the man. You were incredible at everything you do. But
you are too, man.
Most importantly, we're here to feed you nothing but Naturals information here on the Naturals Insider Report. But for Jason Pattyson, I am Wes Pruett. Get ready to watch the Naturals. You can head to MILB app, First Watch app. You can also go to the MLB app, and you can go to Naturals, NWANaturals.com. Click Listen Live on Naturals Radio, and here, as Jason said, a former guest, Sean Mernon, the voice of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, does an incredible job painting pictures of the incredible game of baseball.
All right. Well, everybody, make sure, like Weston said and I said, we're going to wrap this up. Make sure be looking for everything for next Sunday, and we'll see you all then. And you all have a great week, and go Naturals.